So this semester I have nuclear physics to teach you. So we will study from three different books. The first one is from D.C. Tyler. Okay, so I can show you the book. If you can see the book, न्यूक्लिअर फिजिक्स बाय D.C. टायल आपल्या लायब्ररीत अवेलेबल आहे. सो काही नोट्स मी ह्या बुकमधून घेणार आहे. देन अनदर बुक इज S.N. घोषाल. Okay, so this is book by S.N. घोषाल, nuclear physics. Those who are willing to study for NET GATE, this book is preferred for nuclear physics. So most of the time we will use these two books. I will hold this again. If you want to take screenshot, then you can take screenshot. These two books are there. Nuclear physics by D.C. Tyal and nuclear physics by S.N. घोषाल. ओके, डी चांद पब्लिक एस चांद पब्लिकेशनचं नाव आहे ते आणि ऑथरचं नाव आहे घोषाल. ओके, सो घोषालचं जे बुक आहे दॅट विल बी फॉर नेट ऑल्सो. इट इज हेल्पफुल. And there is one more book we will use, and that is by Crane. I forgot initials. A foreign author आहे. These two are Indian authors. I have this PDF. I will share the PDF with you. So first of all, when we study nuclear physics, we will start with how the concept of nuclear physics arose. Okay, so in 1119. The famous experiment, gold foil experiment, you know, done by Rutherford and previously by Geiger and Marsden. So first time they dealt with the nucleus. Okay, at that time there was no concept of nucleus. There was just, according to Thomson's model, the atom was like this. The positive and negative charges are spread all over the atom. So the distribution of all the charges is even. That was first model. But when the Rutherford and the Geiger-Marsden done the experiment, what they found is there is a lot of empty space. You all have studied this in 11th, 12th or in BSc also. So what they found, there is so much empty space in the atom, and at the center it is positive charge. So positive charge is concentrated with a very small space at the center of the atom. So that's why that we will call as a nucleus. So this was the first encounter with the nucleus in 1911 with the Rutherford's model or Rutherford's experiment. Okay. So now this was first time for protons. Okay, we just found that there is some positive charge. Later, the Chadwick found the neutron also. Okay, so then we will combinedly call these two particles as nucleons. Nucleons. This will combinedly known for protons and neutrons. So we will generally call them as a nucleons. So nucleons are in the nucleus of the atom. When you study atomic physics, last semester ला होता ना तुम्हाला atomic and molecular. So त्याच्यामध्ये काय होतं बघा, you mostly study of the electrons revolving around the nucleus. But now what we are focusing is the nucleus. Okay, so nucleus will be म्हणजे न्यूक्लियस मध्ये आपल्याकडे काय काय असणार आहे, न्यूट्रॉन आणि प्रोटॉन दोन्ही असणार आहे. वी ऑल नो प्रोटॉन्स आर हॅव्हिंग प्लस ई चार्ज अँड न्यूट्रॉन्स आर चार्जलेस और चार्ज न्यूट्रल. सो नाव आपण काय करणार बघा, न्यूक्लियसचा हळूहळू स्टडी करत जाणार आहे. सो इफ वी कन्सिडर जस्ट ॲटम्स, हाऊ मेनी ॲटम्स आर देअर? 118 or just for simplicity we take 100 atoms are there. So each atom will have at least one or two isotopes. Okay, so what is isotope? the proton number is same, Z is same, but N or A is different. So for example, hydrogen, simple we take hydrogen. So in hydrogen there is only one proton, so its Z is equal to 1, and there is no neutron. So 1 plus 0 is atomic mass is 1. But there is one hydrogen, its isotope is that there are two nucleons, one is proton and one is neutron. So we call it this as a deuterium or deuteron. Okay, so we are going to study this in detail in this lecture. So one thing we should consider, okay, I will erase this. In the nucleus, as we discussed, there are a lot of protons and neutrons together. Okay, suppose I am taking carbon atom. So we know carbon has 6 protons, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is carbon 6. Okay, in this we have 7. In some carbon atoms there are 6 neutrons, so 6 plus 6 is 12. Then in some there are 13, and then we have 14 nucleons. So here the number of neutrons is 6, here it is 7, here it is 8. Okay, we know how to write this for any element, let's say E, this is element, then we write here the number of protons, which is Z, and then we write here A. A is nothing but the total number of proton plus neutron. Okay, we call this as atomic mass, A is atomic mass number, and Z is atomic number, okay, which represents the number of protons, and this is number of neutrons. Okay, so we can start thinking over this. If there are 6 protons, okay, I am taking carbon, therefore there are 6 protons. But if there is some different element, let's say nitrogen, then it will be 7 protons. For oxygen there will be 8, and so on. There are more than 100 elements present. So how in such a small part of this atom all protons, all positive charges are there? Why they don't repel from each other and eject out of the nucleus? Okay, so जेव्हा आपण बघतो की कुठलाही दोन चार्ज असतील, whenever we deal with two charges, okay, so there will be force of repulsion in between these two. You know the Coulomb force, F is equal to Q1 Q2 upon R square. Okay, there is some constant, right, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 1. But when the two charges are having same sign, then the force is of the repulsion. So why? Because of the repulsion force, even there is a repulsion force, why the charges are not getting separate? So we can conclude from this that there must be some kind of attractive force which is binding all these protons, or basically all the nucleons. I am not talking about neutrons because it has no charge, so they do not involve in this Coulomb scattering or Coulomb repulsion, right? That's why I am just focusing on proton right now. So what it should be? If we know the well-known attractive force is gravitational force, right? Gravitational force is an attractive force. So can this be gravitational force which is binding all these charges together? Tell me. Can this be, you can unmute and tell me, can this be gravitational force which is binding the nucleons together in the nucleus? असेल तर का असेल आणि नसेल तर का नसेल? Have you ever come across the strength of forces? Gravitational force, electromagnetic force, then weak force, strong force. You might have, at least you know the names, right? Okay, so the strength of gravitational force is so weak that it cannot, you might have known that gravitational force is the weakest force of all the four fundamental forces. So if we compare the force due to gravity and if we compare the force due to electromagnetic interactions, or just here Coulomb force. This force is 10 to the 39 times larger, okay, than the gravitational force. So this must not be the gravitational force. This cannot be the gravitational force, okay, because this force, if electromagnetic force is 1 unit or 1 Newton, let's say, then for the same two particles, the gravitational force will be 10 raised to minus 39 Newton, okay, so which is almost equal to 0. That's why we cannot apply gravitational force in quantum mechanics, because the masses are so small. That's why we neglect gravity in there, because this is such a negligible force, but it counts when the mass is too large, okay. That's why we when we deal with the planetary motion or outer space, we cannot ignore this, but in that case we ignore this electromagnetic. You might wonder, if I am telling that this force is way too small than the electromagnetic force, then why we do not speak about the electromagnetic force between Earth and Sun? The reason is, when you talk about the massive bodies, there is no charge over it. There is no net charge. All the bodies have net charge equal to 0. There is no net charge over that. Okay, or let's say Q. So there is no net charge, and that's why we know it only depends on the charge. That's why for large distances, or for what we say, for astronomical bodies, we do not deal with the electromagnetic force, okay. Okay, so there must be some force which is binding these nucleons together, and that force we will call as a strong nuclear force. So in this chapter, or in this course, we are going to deal with the strong nuclear force. There is also a force which is called as a weak nuclear force, which we will deal in the third chapter, in which you will study nuclear decay and nuclear reactions. In that we will discuss about weak nuclear force. But now we will talk about the strong nuclear force and how it arises. We are not going to talk about how it arises, but we will discuss some properties and how can we find out these properties are there, okay. Okay, so first one thing is that there is some force other than gravitational force which is attractive, and it is holding all the nucleons together. So that is our strong nuclear force, okay. We name that as a strong nuclear force, okay. Now we can describe a nucleus by some parameters. So we are going to deal with some parameters. So whenever we are going to study some nucleus, we will discuss about their charges, okay. We will discuss about charge. Then we can discuss its radius. Then we can discuss about its mass, its binding energy. We can discuss about its angular momentum. We can discuss parity, magnetic and electric dipoles. Just मैं dipole लेता हूँ, both electric and magnetic. Quadrupole part, electric quadrupole we can discuss. And then energies. In quantum mechanics also you study about the energy, ground state energy, excited state energy. So we discuss about the excited state energy. So when we study two nuclei, we will discuss these parameters, and you can see that these parameters are static parameters, okay. When the nucleus is stable, it is not moving, then we can measure these parameters, or we can study about these parameters. So these parameters are called as static properties of nuclei, okay. These properties are what? static properties. स्टॅटिक प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ न्यूक्लियर. सो कुठलाही न्यूक्लियस आपण जर डिस्कस करणार असो तर आपल्याला ह्या पॅरामीटर्सच्या शिवाय अजून काय बोलायचं नाही. आयदर वी विल टॉक अबाउट चार्ज विच विल कवर इन दिस झेड, number of protons is itself the charge, then we will talk about the radius. This is more important, we will going to see that. Then what is the mass, which will be indicated by this A. Then the binding energy and excited state energies. The energy thing we will discuss in detail. There is also one concept, okay, in nuclear physics, instead of angular momentum we call it as a nuclear spin. Okay, so ह्याला आपण nuclear spin असं म्हणणार. So we will also see this properties, and then we can come up with the form how it is, how the strong nuclear force we can write. We will come up with this idea. Okay, like इथं आपल्याला माहिती आहे की हा इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक फोर्स हा आपण असा लिहितो, हां Q1 Q2 वरती तो डिपेंड आहे आणि डिस्टन्सवरती डिपेंड आहे. आपल्याला ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल फोर्स माहिती आहे, राईट. सो दिस इज m1 m2 अपॉन r² with some constant. Okay, so we will try to come up with such a formula, or at least we will get some idea on which factors the strong nuclear force is depending. Okay, so we will discuss these things. Okay, and about the dynamic properties, we will also study dynamic properties in third topic, which is related to the decay, nuclear decay. Okay, now I will talk about some properties. I will directly tell you properties, but before that, radius is most important property of any nucleus. Okay, so we should know how small the nucleus of any nuclei is, or any atom is. So what I will tell you, how we measure the radius of any nucleus. So there are two categories of experiments we do to measure the radius. So in general, the radius is of range of femtometer. Okay, so this is approximate size, 2 to 2.5 femtometer. Okay, so how we can find out the radius of nucleus? Okay, because if you see this type of range is there in femtometer. Femtometer is 10 raised to minus 15 meters. Okay, atom is 10 raised to 10 meters, or in angstrom we deal with the atom. So it is 10 raised to 5 times smaller than the atom, regular atom. So you know we cannot see atoms also. We have to use some spectroscopy techniques like SEM. You are going to use that for your project, SEM or AFM. All such techniques are used to see. Okay, we cannot directly see this atom, or we cannot see the surface of material with microscopic view in this range. So this is AFM, is atomic force microscopy. So with this we can see in the range of angstrom. With SEM or FECM we look in the range of 10 raised to minus 9 or nanometer. In nanometer range we can see this. But now you can see this range, or the femtometer range, is very small. So even our what we say microscope or electron microscopes also, with that also we cannot see size of nucleus. So how we can study the nucleus? How we can find out what is the radius of the nucleus? Okay, before that we can see in this case radius can be in two different types. First of all, we can call as a mean radius of a nucleus, or we can deal with the skin depth or skin thickness. Okay, so in some cases we can measure the mean radius, and in some cases we measure the skin thickness. Okay, so what is mean radius? It is the distance up to which the density is half of the central line. So suppose there is a nucleus. हा पूर्ण न्यूक्लियस आहे, ॲटम नाही काढलेला. वी आर नाव झूमिंग इन टू द न्यूक्लियस. So as we are talking about the strong nuclear force, it is so strong that it binds all the charges also together. So in the middle, okay, so in this range the density is maximum. So we are talking about mean radius. This means let's say here the density is rho, and up to what point it becomes rho by 2. So from this point to that point where the density becomes half, so इथं सगळीकडे कॉन्स्टंट असणार नाही, हे कमी कमी होत जाणार आहे, आणि रो पासून ते रो बाय 2 जेव्हा होईल, so that we will call as a mean radius. So mean radius is where the distance where the density of nucleus become half, the distance where the density of nucleus becomes half of that of the center. So central जी डेन्सिटी आहे त्याच्या निम्मी डेन्सिटी जिथपर्यंत येईल, so that distance we will call as a mean radius of a nucleus. And then we can talk about the skin thickness. So whenever we are talking about the radius, this can be either mean radius or skin thickness. इथं काय केलं बघा, आपण इथं हाफ होईपर्यंत आपण चेक केलं. सो इन दिस केस व्हॉट वी विल डू, आफ्टर सर्टन रिजन द डेन्सिटी विल बी अप्रॉक्सिमेटली इक्वल टू 0, राईट. सो लेट्स से इट इज मिनिमम, सो ॲट सर्टन डिस्टन्स इट इज मिनिमम. ओके, और इथपर्यंत समजा मिनिमम आहे. सो ऑब्वियसली ॲट द सेंटर इट विल बी मॅक्झिमम. सो वी विल चेक वेअर द density is maximum and where the density is minimum, and the difference between these two distance we will call as a skin thickness. So it is the distance between maximum density to minimum density. सिंबॉल मध्ये लिहितो आता, सगळं लिहित नाही. So maximum density to minimum density, and that distance we will call as a skin thickness. But most of the time we will discuss about the mean radius. Okay, so how we can measure this? So there are two types of experiment we can conduct or we can carry out, and each type will consist of a large number of experiments. There can be a large number of list of experiment. So I will tell you, that is not important for our syllabus, but I will just tell you the types. So one is electron scattering, and other one is the Rutherford scattering or alpha scattering. First type we seen was electron scattering. This is type of experiments, and then we have Rutherford scattering. Alpha scattering वगैरे ह्या टाइप मध्ये येणार आपल्याला. So in case of electron scattering, what happens? We deal with the strong interaction. Okay, sorry, not in case of electron diffraction. In Rutherford scattering, strong interaction. Okay, so proton आणि न्यूट्रॉन मधला फोर्स आहे तो आपल्याला ह्याच्यामध्ये कळतो. And in case of electron scattering, we discuss with the Coulomb scattering or Coulomb interaction. So ह्याच्यावरून इलेक्ट्रॉन स्कॅटरिंगचे जे एक्सपेरिमेंट आहेत त्याच्यावरून आपल्याला काय कळणार आहे, तर न्यूक्लिअर चार्जेसचं डिस्ट्रीब्युशन कळणार. हाऊ द न्यूक्लिअर चार्जेस आर डिस्ट्रीब्युटेड, अँड फ्रॉम Rutherford scattering we will see how the nuclear matter, okay, or nuclear mass is distributed over the nucleus. So such type of in case of electron scattering, there is one experiment called muonic X-ray. So from that we find out that the radius is about 1.25 femtometer. Okay, and from this type of experiment we also found the from the mirror nuclei experiment we found that 1.22 femtometer, okay, of some nuclei. And from that we also find, or we also write the general formula for radius of a nucleus. Okay, you can see that all nucleus will not have the same number of nucleons, right? काही मध्ये प्रोटॉन नंबर न्यूट्रॉन नंबर कमी असणार आहे, म्हणजे काही लाईट न्यूक्लिय असणार आहेत, काही मिडल वेट न्यूक्लिय असणार आहेत आणि काही हेवी न्यूक्लिय असणार आहेत. सो सगळ्यांचे रेडियस तर सेम असू शकणार नाही. सो देर इज वन फॉर्म्युला फॉर दॅट and we write this as r naught a raised to 1/3. So a here is the atomic mass, nuclear mass, not atomic, or we can call it as atomic mass number. So this is basically the number, total nuclear number, total nucleons किती आहेत त्या nucleus मध्ये. So that will be represented by this capital A. ओके, आणि हा जो मी खाली आर लिहिला आहे हा दॅट इज नथिंग बट आर नॉट, हे आर नॉटची व्हॅल्यू आहे ह्या दोन्ही. ओके, दिस इज आर नॉट. ओके, मगाशी मी 2 फेम्टोमीटर लिहिलं होतं, सॉरी, दॅट शुड बी 1.2 फेम्टोमीटर टू 1.25 फेम्टोमीटर. मगाशी जर तुम्ही लिहिलं असेल तर ते करेक्शन करून घ्या. 2.5 लिहिलं होतं मी, त्याच्याऐवजी 1.2 to 1.25 femtometer. Okay, so all this stuff we were discussing from the book of Crane. So I will state some properties and then we can discuss them. Okay, so first property of a nucleus is a saturation property. So what is saturation? In general, saturation means to stop something which is increasing. Okay, so here in case of nucleus the density is almost constant. So this is about the density of a nucleus. Not very light nucleus, खूप लाईट जे हायड्रोजन हिलियम वगैरे जे न्यूक्लियस आहेत त्यांची डेन्सिटी कमी आहे. बट जर आपण समजा आय गेस ए इज इक्वल टू 40च्या पुढं गेलो, ए म्हणजे काय आपला टोटल न्यूक्लियन्स आहेत, हां, प्रोटॉन प्लस न्यूट्रॉनची जर संख्या 40पेक्षा जर जास्त झाली, ओके, इफ ए इज ग्रेटर दॅन ऑर इक्वल टू 40, then we can find out this property, but we will generally use this as a saturation property. And not only the density of nucleus, the binding energy per nucleon is also almost constant per nucleon. Here it is A. पहिली प्रॉपर्टी आपण बघितली होती सॅच्युरेशन प्रॉपर्टी. ओके, सॅच्युरेशन हे दोन गोष्टींचं होत आहे, एक बाइंडिंग एनर्जी पर न्यूक्लियन आणि दुसरं होत आहे डेन्सिटी. ओके, आणि मी एक कर्व काढला होता, या साईडला ए आहे आणि इकडं बाइंडिंग एनर्जी पर न्यूक्लियन आणि हा असा काहीतरी आहे. ओके, सो इथं मॅक्झिमम आहे हा आयर्न 56 आहे. ओके, याची बाइंडिंग एनर्जी पर न्यूक्लियन मॅक्झिमम आहे. इट इज अराउंड 7 मेगा इलेक्ट्रॉन व्होल्ट. आय एम नॉट शुअर अबाउट दिस नंबर, बट ठीक आहे, 7 मेगा इलेक्ट्रॉन व्होल्ट पर न्यूक्लियन. इन दिस रेंज इट इज देयर. ओके, लेट मी एडजस्ट कॅमेरा. Okay, so this was first property. Then we discussed alpha particle. or it is helium nucleus. So most of the nucleus ज्यांचे A जास्त आहे they can emit the alpha particle to get stability. Already काही stable आहेत, but if you bombard some neutrons on that, then you will get some alpha particle. Okay, so this is one property, and this is the most stable. इथं पण आपण आयन बघितलाय, but this is also very stable nucleus. Okay, then what we see, charge independence, short range. Okay, so we have very short ranged force. So मगाशी जो फॉर्म्युला मला दाखवायचा होता, R इज इक्वल टू आर नॉट ए रेस टू 1/3 म्हणजे क्यूब रूट ऑफ ए. ओके, सपोज ए इज इक्वल टू 216. ओके, फॉर सम न्यूक्लियर, आय डोंट नो विच वन इज. सो ह्याचा आपण तुम्ही क्यूब रूट जर काढला, इट इज 6, राईट. सो जर आपण ह्यात पुट केलं आणि मगाशी आपण बघितलं होतं आर नॉटची व्हॅल्यू आपण 1.2 फेमटोमीटर. So you can get the radius of that particular nucleus. So if you put here, so it will become 6. So 1.2 into 6, it is approximately 7.2 femtometer, right? So such type of problems you get in a net set. Okay, you should know this. Then there is charge independence. Okay, so charge independence. So whether the two nucleons are proton-proton or neutron-neutron or proton-neutron, it does not matter. It doesn't matter whether what is the other nucleon, but the strong interaction force is same. In these three of the pairs, only this pair has Coulomb force. Okay, so when we neglect that force, okay, आपल्याला value माहिती असते, Coulomb interaction ची value आपल्याला माहिती असते. So when we find out the total force and subtract the Coulomb interaction from that, we will get the same result here, we will get same result here, we will get same result here. So these are 4 important properties. Then we also discussed, we will discuss about shape of potential, but there is one more property, that the force is spin dependent. Okay, आता एवढंच लिहून घ्या, स्पिन डिपेंडेंट. We will discuss this in detail when we will study deuteron. Okay, we have to study deuteron problem. In 1935, Japanese scientist Yukawa proposed a theory to deal with the nuclear forces, how the nuclear forces are acting and what is going in between them. So that theory is called as Yukawa theory. So what does it tell us? That there is interaction between two nucleons is intermediate by virtual boson. Okay, and that boson is meson. Specifically, it is pi meson. Okay, so what he proposed? Suppose there is a proton which has positive charge. It will give us neutron and one positive meson. Okay, I'm just conserving the charge. Okay, mass conservation कडे आता बघू नका, because it can convert into the energy. mc² माहिती तुम्हाला, mass energy equivalence. Then we can have neutron which converts into neutron by emitting pi neutral. Okay, this is meson. These are 3 types of meson: pi plus, pi neutral, and pi minus. Okay. Similarly, if we have proton, then also we can get proton and pi meson, and if we have neutron, then we can get proton plus pi minus. Okay, so these are decays. So he stated that these can be possible interactions in between neutron and proton. Okay, so for example, what we can discuss this as, suppose in our, actually मला हा experiment वर्गामध्ये घ्यायचा होता, so that we can imagine how this works out. So let's say we are in the classroom आणि we have different type of cap. Okay, there can be only two types of cap. One is let's say red cap, and then there is say white. Okay, so what we can do, red, ज्याच्याकडे रेड कॅप असेल ही विल बी प्रोटॉन, ही और शी विल बी प्रोटॉन. ज्याच्याकडे व्हाईट असेल, ठीक आहे, ज्याच्याकडे व्हाईट असेल ही और शी विल बी न्यूट्रॉन. ओके, सो द कॅप इज नथिंग बट द पाय मेसॉन्स. ओके, सो ज्याच्याकडे जो येईल त्यानुसार तो चेंज होणार. सो जर माझ्याकडं, मी समजा आधी न्यूट्रॉन आहे, म्हणजे माझ्याकडे व्हाईट कॅप आहे आणि एकाकडे एकच कॅप तुम्ही घेऊ शकता, तुम्ही एक्सचेंज करू शकता एकामध्ये different caps. Okay, so if I am having red cap, that means I have this pi plus meson. So if I give that to someone else, then I will become neutron. I will become neutral. Okay, so this kind of experiment I wanted to carry out. Maybe not with cap, आपल्याला एवढं सगळं cap आणि with we can do this with chalks. Okay, so I hope you get this idea. So if we have pi plus meson, then this is the proton. Also pi 0 म्हणजे काय असणार, मी माझ्याकडे रेड कॅप आहे आणि मी रेड कॅप वाल्यालाच दिली, त्याच्याकडची घेतली. सो देर इज नो एक्सचेंज ऑफ चार्ज. सो त्या केसमध्ये आपलं रेड जो आहे तो रेडच राहणार. त्याचा अर्थ काय, न्यूट्रॉन आहे तो न्यूट्रॉनच राहणार, किंवा व्हाईट कडचा व्हाईट कड राहणार, पण रेड कडचा रेड. Similar fashion we can deal with. So these interactions are continuously going on, and that's why these nucleons are staying in the nucleus. So for example, there are 4 nucleons in helium, right? आता जो अल्फा पार्टिकल बघितला आपण, it has 2 neutrons and 2 protons. Right? So if we pass some time, we don't have guarantee that this neutron is still neutron and this proton is still proton. Okay, so what happens if this proton is no longer the proton, if this proton is no longer proton, then the force between these two protons will vanish, repulsive force will vanish, and that's why this exchange phenomenon is causing the strong interaction. Okay, so at time of Yukawa, this was not named as a meson. This was discovered later, but he just proposed there is some virtual boson which is getting interaction with these particles. Okay, so though we are going to find out what is the nature of these nuclear forces, the complete nature is still unknown to scientists also. So we will just discuss what information we have, and from that what interpretation we can conclude. Okay, so I hope this is enough for today.